The Atlanta Falcons have fired head coach Arthur Smith after 3 seasons, and team owner Arthur Blank can't afford to miss on the next head coach. Hi, I'm Jesse McNamara, and welcome to Point of View. Before we get started, I just want to say we always appreciate your feedback and look forward to reading your comments like the one we've got right here. Also, be sure to stay tuned to the end of this episode to see if you can guess today's trivia question down below. To today's topic, will the Atlanta faithful ever get to see another winning season from their squad? If they continue to hire the wrong leader like Arthur Smith, it's going to be a long time. Smith did look like the right hire for a while after coordinating the Tennessee Titans offense that scored over 30 points per game in 2020. And in his first 2 seasons as head coach with the Falcons in 21 and 22, he nearly doubled their 2020 win total of 4 by winning 7 games in each season. He and Arthur Blank were on the same page at that time, that this was going to be a 3-year plan towards serious contention. And that plan looked to be on schedule before this season. Here's what Blank had to say after seeing the team play during training camp.
They've made the moves they've had to make over the last couple of years, and I think they got us in a position now where I think our team is going to be even more competitive than it's been in the last couple of years. I think they'd be disappointed if that was not the case. I'd be disappointed. Our fans would be disappointed. So I feel good about the direction of where we are.
This was supposed to be the year. No excuses. Smith had his hand-picked quarterback in Desmond Ridder after showing no interest in Lamar Jackson for whatever crazy reason. He also had a ton of top draft picks like Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. He had to know Arthur Blank was going to be breathing down his neck if they didn't at least make the postseason. And I don't think anybody was expecting a reincarnation of the Matt Ryan and Julio Jones era. They just had to show their potential on the field, and they failed. The Falcons had the exact same record as the 2 years prior, 7-10. That includes losses to the Carolina Panthers, the Washington Commanders, and the Arizona Cardinals. Those are 3 of the bottom 4 teams in the league. And the most obvious sign of dysfunction came in their miserable season in London against the Jags when Ridder turned the ball over 4 times and got screamed at mid-game by first-year Falcon Mac Hollins. The writing was on the wall, and Smith clearly had to be let go immediately after the season. Here's what Arthur Blank had to say about the decision in his end-of-season press conference.
At some point in time, we have to separate our personal respect, affection for the head coach in this case versus results. And there's no question that over the last 3 years that our results have not been what I've committed to our franchise, which has been having championships and being competitive at the highest possible levels that we could achieve. We haven't done that for 3 years. There's lots of subplots, sub-stories, which we could spend hours talking about, and most everybody in this room has either verbally expressed views on or written about, etc. So we could debate some of those things or discuss some of those things, but we are where we are.
Now they find themselves back to square one. They have a bunch of talent across the board and the 8th pick in this year's draft, but they still need the most important pieces, the head coach and the quarterback. Finding the right person for the head coach job quickly is a must, especially if they plan to find their QB of the future in the draft. And the hiring decision will be that much tougher for Arthur Blank and CEO Rich McKay this time around, considering what a slam dunk hire Smith looked like to them at the time. Blank and McKay chose Smith over other candidates such as Dan Campbell, Nick Sirianni, and Robert Saleh. The first 2, they made the playoffs this season, and Saleh put together a heck of a season considering the injuries they just had to deal with all year. Those types of coaches can't be overlooked this time around. There are already clear top-end candidates available like Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn. Go talk to those guys now, because any of them would be a home run hire. That group of candidates also possess perhaps the most important aspect of this search, which is longevity. Drafting a QB and then needing to make a change at head coach during the QB's rookie contract is a recipe for disaster. Just look at Justin Fields' development with Matt Nagy and Matt Eberflus. The Falcons can't afford to go through anything like that. So with a young Falcons team that's ready to win and the opportunity to choose their own QB, the Falcons head coach opening is very appealing and should attract candidates that want to stay long-term. But finding that guy has proven to be easier said than done. One team that will be competing with the Falcons for head coaches is the Washington Commanders after firing Ron Rivera. Be sure to check out our recent point of view to hear more on that. And the moment you've all been waiting for, Here's the answer to today's trivia question. We appreciate you tuning in to this episode of Point of View, and we will see you in the next one.